Hello, everybody. My name is Christopher Saunders, and this is the Connecticut Sports Talent Show, where we talk all things talents in Connecticut. And on tonight's show, I'm pleased to have on a returning guest who's been on multiple times, the head football coach of the Granby Canton Football Program, Coach Erik Shortell. Coach Shortell, thanks so much for being able to come on, man.
Hey, Chris, thanks for having me on. It's always a pleasure, and always look forward to chatting football with you.
First off, congratulations on being undefeated 4-0 after, a thrilling victory, two back-to-back exciting games against Stafford and also against last week against Ellington. We'll get into those games in just a little bit, man. But first off, I just want to say, how's the heart? Do you have any hair left on your head? I mean, how's everything going?
I mean, the heart's still beating, but the hair is clearly gone off my head. So, you know, the games, they've been insane. It's everything that you practice for, and I guess as a fan, as a football spectator, I mean, that's the kind of game you want to come and watch. As a coach, it's great to come out on the right side, but it's definitely a tough night.
Man, I think looking at, and again, just thinking about the games that I've seen from the NVO, I feel like there's been maybe not as many blowouts as I expected, but there's been a couple high scoring games. There's also been a lot of close games, even by a touchdown or two. I consider that close, especially at the high school level. In the Pequot, which I think a lot of people around here may not know about because it's quite far away from where I am, but just thinking about the brand of football, there's been a lot of close games. Even like you mentioned, there was a 21 to nothing game not too long ago. That's not a bad score considering of what was missed last season. I'm talking about the football season. Have you been impressed by the Pequot as far as the talent thus far this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Pequot overall and as a conference is fantastic. I mean, you look at records, and where guys are placed right now. You know, everyone has at least 2 or 3 wins. And if they do have a loss, it's a touchdown or less. So overall, I think the defenses in the Pequot, on both sides, the Uncas and the Saskis have just been fantastic. I think that shows on the scoreboard. I don't think teams' offenses are down. I just really think overall team defenses are very good this year. And it's been shown with the final scores.
And the defenses have been showing. I mean, you guys are first in Class M. You're 4-0. You have Coggenshaw, which is third in Class M. Rockville sixth. Those are two teams you'll be seeing respectively down the road. Rockville on October 22nd and Coggenshaw on November 19th. So that you could very well, in a lot of ways, I know you don't like to look too much in the future, but you could very well play spoiler in the sense of not having to see those teams more than the one time that you would through your schedule, man. I think, those are games, especially because of the competition and the just what goes into those games. I'm sure you'll be looking forward to that when those games are upon the week.
Yeah, absolutely, and just with football in general, to make playoffs, you almost have to treat every game as a playoff game. And it's tough. We're going to be playing 5 teams right now that are ranked in the top 8 in either Class M or Class S. So every game is a battle, and you have to go into it as it's a playoff game, because in the long run, it could really affect you. So that's the kind of attitude we take out of it, and we take it week by week, day by day, and try to keep getting better and get ready for the team that's at hand for that week.
And you talk about, Coach, as far as getting better week by week, day by day. I want to kind of go back a little bit to the preseason, the beginning of which you guys were starting to get ramped up for the season. And I remember texting you because obviously you lost a lot of talent over the last 2 years between 2019 and 2020. You lost your star running back who, I've been trying to still get on the podcast. I don't know what happened. Maybe he forgot about me. You also had your quarterback, I think it was Jackson Rome, if I remember right. That kid could sling it. I mean, what again, I wish I could have broadcasted the game. Kid could throw it. But the one thing that your teams did in 2019, triple option, unbeatable. Now, I remember when you told me how you were going to the spread a little bit with the triple option as well. Um, is that something that you felt like was going to take time to adjust during the preseason and such, as far as going to the spread a little bit?
Absolutely, man. We were returning 0 varsity starters from the 2019 team that had any varsity experience on offense. So we knew coming into preseason and coming to the season, it's gonna be ups and downs. And it's going to be the kind of thing where you're going to have your good days, your bad days, and you just got to keep building them off them and fix your errors, fix your mistakes, and just keep that positive attitude and just keep getting better every day. And then experience is showing. I mean, I think it's showing for a lot of schools. And it was showing for us on defense, special teams, offense. But, the mistakes and experience, we try to take it as a learning experience, as a positive, just to make us better, for the following week.
As you were going through the preseason, okay, you were going through workouts and, like I mentioned, preparing for the first games. Was there any glaring weakness that you could share that you felt like was going to be a concern, but now through 4 games, maybe you feel a little bit better about the concern that you had in the past?
I mean, I think overall concern was, just as a team, how are we going to respond when we hit some adversity? When something happens that you can't control, something you don't like, how is a team going to respond? Having a year off of being a team, everything from summer workouts to conditioning, just that whole year of doing nothing, besides, Zoom calls and emails, just to see how a team would respond after that. That's what I was worried about. I know over time the skills and all that would come back to as a team, but how we react as a team, I was worried about that. And I'm very surprised and happy with how we're acting. When we're coming to tough situations or things that don't roll our way, how the kids react. They've really showed maturity and grown up from when they were sophomores to now seniors or freshmen to now juniors.
What was looking at the development of every player, I think they each have their own way of kind of gathering the knowledge and trying to learn the varsity game. I mean, the speed is ridiculously different from a freshman game or a JV game. How was it for you? Because I know the mind of you is very unique. I mean, you have a very good mind when it comes to the game of football. I don't need to tell you that. Um, how how long did it take you to kind of, I mean, did you have to kind of dumb things down in the beginning? Where did it kind of go as far as you going about teaching the game of football to, as you said, you returned 0 players who had varsity experience?
Yeah, I mean, we took it right back down from the basics, from stance and starts, how you come off the ball, how your feet are supposed to be positioned, and then to offensively, just the basic plays. We go player two formation, and then once we got that down, add a few more that build off that. And defensively, keeping it super basic, not many stunts, not many blitzes, one coverage. And then slowly, once the kids got into it, we rolled in more and more, as the days progressed or as the weeks progressed, depending on how it looked in practice. And then when we watched it, our film of practice, fixed the weaknesses and showed the strengths, and we built off that.
When you wanted to implement this, when you were going basically with your offense, okay, was it by your decision rather to go to a spread a little bit because what you saw around, or was it because you felt like the triple option, because it's a very unique offense? I've told this to many guys. It's like a symphony. It's like playing in a band. One thing goes off, one offensive lineman blows his assignment, it could destroy the whole thing. So, did you feel like the spread was something to kind of keep it basic, but also allow you time, not just to gain confidence with those players so they can get the varsity experience, but to allow your offense in the triple option to kind of run through its course so that when you felt like it was ready, then you had not just the spread, but you had the triple option as well?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge believer in coaching a system that works best with the crew of guys you have. 2019, 18, 17, 16, we were built with the right crew of guys for the triple option. Running quarterback, a few hard-nosed running backs. But this year's special. We have a pocket passing quarterback. Kid's 6'5", can sling it. He's young. Bunch of receivers, a bunch of running backs. So I think overall, if I went the triple option, I wouldn't be using everything to our greatest 11 as we can. So that's why we decided as a staff to go to the spread. Obviously, we're always still going to have the triple. It's always still going to be there when we need it. But overall, best thing for the team was to go to spread, just because I believe, and as a staff, we believe we're so talented, in all of our skill positions.
how unique is it to have a quarterback who is 6'5" and is not only overseeing, because I don't know too many offensive linemen that are 6'5" or above, at least in Connecticut that I know of. But how interesting is it to you to have a quarterback that size? I mean, that must be like it must almost be like playing Madden or something with a quarterback that big.
I mean, it's a first for me, and I've always had short quarterbacks that were more runners than passers. So it's a bit to get used to. But he's like another coach in the field. He's super smart, understands coverages and what's going on. He's just young, so the inexperience is there. But every day he's getting better, breaking down film, breaking down coverages and learn the offense. His future is very bright. So we're leaning on him, and it's just sky's the limit as we keep getting better in this young season.
I mean, right now you guys are 4-0, and it looks like things have been going well. Now, there were two games that you played previously that kind of gave you a little bit of a heart attack, a little bit. Stafford with Coach Mazzone, who's done a fantastic job there. I talked to him daily. Last time I talked to him was about the Yankees. That's well done. They stink. It's simple as that. And then the game against Ellington. We'll get to that in just a second. The Stafford game. Did you going into that game feel like it was going to be a battle right until the end?
Always. I mean, whenever we face Stafford, especially in the past several years, it's always been a battle. Mazzone and his staff over there have a fantastic crew. They always have the kids ready. So we never know. It's never gonna be a cupcake game, going against Stafford. And we had a really good game plan, defensively and offensively, and I think we executed it. We had our ups and downs, but we battled and we got the W. And it wasn't pretty, wasn't easy, but we got the job done. So it was nice to come out with the W after such a close game like that. Stafford had number 11 over there, Briggs, all-state receiver, slot, running back. He does it all in their offense. Great athlete. And thus we had a game plan to shut him down. And I think we did. I think he had one run for, I think it was 11 yards, 0 receptions. So we had lockdown defense on him. But then Briggs still got us on the defensive side of the ball with a pick six and a fumble six. So he still hit the scoreboard, but defensively we shut him down and their quarterback, to a very good offense they have rolling over there.
At what point during that game did you kind of realize, okay, this is my team's first true test of adversity? I know you talked about that before, about not going through the varsity struggles as far as going through the adversity, dealing with close games. How would they respond? At what point during that game did you feel like, okay, this is the test? Now I want to see how do they respond?
I would say it was either late in the first quarter, early in the second. We started off with a pick six on our defense. We scored right away. I think they marched a little bit. We got the ball back. We're marching down the field, and we threw an interception. They got the ball. We held them out again. So I'm like, all right, that was good. Turnover, defense reacted, got the ball back. Not too long after that, we fumbled it, and they scooped and scored for a touchdown. So it was tied there. Offense was going back and forth. We ended up scoring again. And then, throughout the game, we had another pick six they had and another fumble six. So, they scored their 3 touchdowns all on their defense. And just the way our defense responded, I have to go back out on the field and just come back and still, shut down, like I said, a very good offense over there. It was impressive. And then to come down to the last play with a minute left, goal line, and the last play when Stafford scored the fumble six, they decided to go for 2, and we shut them out on their 2-point conversion to win the game. So just the ups and downs and how the team overall reacted to that, it impressed me, and it's just, we're gritty, and I like that.
As the game ended and you were talking to your team after, what was obviously there was a lot of joy because you guys be a very good Stafford team. There was a close game, first game where they felt like, okay, again, like we said, adversity. Did any of the players say anything to you, or was there any sort of reaction after that game?
Yeah, I mean, I think the kids just realized that they could hang with anybody. Um, you know, like, we knew going into it, Stafford's a good team, and just the ups and downs, and we still came out on top. It just goes to show these kids have heart, and doesn't matter what happens. We're still gonna give it all we got, and good things will happen. East Granby, Suffield. We played well against them. The final was like 42-0. We played great. And our defense left them to, I think, that 38 total yards of offense. So defense played super well again. Just flying around, love seeing it. And we had a bye week. Then we came into Ellington, this past week, who was also, they were 4-0. And they're good. They're well coached team over there. Flying around, they're big, physical. A few things didn't go our way offensively to start. So we ended up jumping into the triple option, and we were able to move the ball and score the touchdown to not seal the deal, but get up a score on them. And our special teams, had an 84-yard kick return for a touchdown, and it was just a battle. I mean, they have a quarterback over there, and number 8 receiver, I forgot his last name, but unbelievable catches. The quarterback had a few spots there, a 3-foot window between out of bounds and our very good zone coverage, and he dropped it in there, and the kid would catch it with the fingertips and put his foot down and still get the catch. It was unbelievable. It was like the ball couldn't go anywhere else, and they got it there. So it's hats off to them. They played phenomenal. I mean, they're a 1 through 11 defense, fantastic side and sideline. So again, it was another battle. Tough one to coach. Like you said, my heart wasn't too happy with me, but we ended up getting another goal line stand. They went for 2 to try to seal the deal, and we were able to pick off the ball to finish the game there.
I think one thing is certain, that any team that wants to go for 2 against you, I think they should realize, may want to think twice, because Granby is now 2-0, Granby Canton, as far as against the 2-point conversion in less than a minute. So you guys are now pretty used to that, I would say.
Yeah, I hope we don't have to get too used to it too much.
That is very true, because then if you're getting that close, that means your heart's starting to go again. We don't want that to happen again.
No, but our defense has just been playing lights out, and it's awesome to see.
Do you think the fact that your defense being as well playing as well as it is right now, helps the offense, because it allows the offense to kind of get its feet wet, kind of allows it to be able to go through the learning process? So then at some point, if the defense is having a bad game, you give up 18, 21, I'm not saying you will, but if it just has a bad day, every team has that. The offense can pick up the slack for one game because the defense was carrying the offense for a multitude of games.
Yeah, I mean, our offense is getting better every day, game to game. So it's our offense will get the job done. So having a good defense, man, that's trying to get the best offense, defense, special teams all together, all at the right time during one game, is the overall key.
Looking at this 4-0 record, man, there's a lot of credit to be given out. I think everyone deserves the reach piece of the pie, huge piece of the pie. Who would you give the biggest piece of the 4-0 winning record pie to? Who deserves the most credit?
Our defense by far. Just overall, I can't say particular player. Just overall, team defense has been phenomenal. Week 1, I think we let up 12 points, but then we had a lot of young guys in when we left those 2 scores. Week 2 we shut out Stafford. Besides a few turnover touchdowns they didn't score on our defense at all. Week 3 was another shutout, that 38 or less yards. And week 4, and we played very good defense, and they just made some amazing plays and throws. So that's fantastic by Ellington, but we still got the job done. So our defense, big time, and our special teams, some real clutch plays throughout those 4 games too.
Man, I think looking at the overall kind of how the game of football is around here, I think defense and special teams especially special teams, I feel like is not focused as much for whatever reason. Maybe the lack of depth on the roster, maybe it's the lack of practice time, maybe it's both. It could be more than that. But I feel like if you have a good special teams, if you have a defense, because as we know, as the weather gets worse, it's hard to throw the football because you can't feel your hands. It's hard to be able to catch the football because of various reasons, conditions, and whatnot. But if you have a strong defense and you have special teams, because again, to force a high school team, regardless of how good, to go 85, 90 yards every single drive is difficult. So if you have two out of the three and the offense comes at some point, you can compete every single week. And you guys have shown that through the first 4 weeks of the season.
Yeah, and I 100% agree with that. Like I said, we just keep going with that mindset. I practice, I tell the kids every day, do something better every day. So once all 52 of us do that little bit something better, it's going to make us that much better as a team every day. And you keep adding it up every day of practice every week. It's only up from there.
So what is Coach Shortell doing to do better each and every week? What are you doing?
Everything. Watching film like a shark and just trying to stay on top of the kids, making sure myself and our staff is on par. Everyone's on the same page. With our game plan, with our practice plan. Day in and day out, making sure everyone's staying on their toes.
So basically, you're never sleeping.
Basically, yeah.
I don't see you sleeping from August 13th until after states.
No, yeah, it's not much sleep. You get it when you can, but it's not too much.
Yeah, right. Maybe the weekend. Maybe you could sleep in once. Maybe.
Yeah. that depends when my kids wake me up after that.
That is true. By the way, I know this is off topic, but I'm happy to see that your family's doing well, Erik. As far as your kids, your family, beautiful family. I see it on Facebook and such. It's great to see, and I'm happy that everybody is doing well. I forgot to mention that.
I appreciate that.
No problem, buddy. But hey, we're just about run out of time. I wish you nothing but the best of luck the rest of the season. I'm glad I was finally be able to get you on, and I got you on after a good time. It would have been bad if you lost to Ellington. It's like, hey, you want to come on? You'd be like, I'm still mad about the game, but hey, I'm happy to see that Granby Canton's doing well. I'm not shocked by any means, and hopefully in the near future I could broadcast one of your games because that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, Chris, and everything you do here, for Connecticut sports with your podcast, covering the MVL games, just fantastic. Getting Connecticut and all the players throughout the state, out there, because there's some really talented programs, players, coaches, teams out there, and so thank you for everything that you do.
No problem, buddy. I appreciate it. That'll wrap things up here in the Connecticut Sports Talent Show. So until next time, stay safe. Remember, CT stands for Connecticut Town. I'm Marjorie, and the Find them all. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody, and be well.